Hello and welcome my fab fans to Glam's new video. So, I had a very productive day today. My laundry is almost done being clean, and my coworker helped me out by taking over a shift for me for this week so that I wouldn't be so stressed about doing all my schoolwork. I got almost all of it done. I still have 2 more posts to make, but it's not due until Sunday, so it's not that big of a deal, and I still have time after tonight. I'm going to try to film about 3 videos. We'll see if I'm still motivated after the second or third round of filming, because I tend to bulk film in the row, because I like getting this done. I also made myself food. Right now, I'm drinking a meal supplement. It's chocolate, but I use almond milk because I can't drink regular milk without having tummy pains. It ain't even the lactose that gives me the stomach issues. I wish it was, because I can drink all natural milk straight from the farm, but as soon as I drink it from like a carton from a store or a jug from a regular store like Walmart, I end up having extremely bad cramps and diarrhea. So I can't drink regular milk. I have to be very specific about the cows that I drink from. And I feel like we should be more concerned of why that's a thing. And what are they putting in the milk to keep it preserved? Because why the fuck is milk fucking me up so bad? And I remember I was like doing this whole project on like coping mechanisms and like writing a whole paragraph about it. And one of the sections was, hey, so is swearing considered a bad coping mechanism? I don't see swearing as a bad thing because it's just another part of language. And it's really funny. If something makes you laugh and you're using it in a positive light, is it really a bad way to cope with things? Like, I understand if you're, like, using swears to take others down, make them feel bad about themselves, then it's not being used correctly, and it's used as, like, a tear down to hurt people. But if you're not using it to tear people down, but instead as just emphasis, then it's just a funny word to emphasize your meaning. Swears are not always negative to me, at least. That's how I feel. But I really do enjoy doing any type of psychological test that they make you do whenever I'm in a psychology course, like I am now. I'm currently in health psychology. It is a very entertaining course, and it's all about how your psychological state can affect your health and well-being physically, which is very accurate, and I've always believed that the body and mind are very much intertwined, because when I'm in a bad mental health state, I am vomiting, I am on the toilet, I am suffering and crying and having full-blown panic attacks. When I'm in a good state, I have energy, I can get things done, and I'm not as tired. But it's all mental. It's all a mental state. Even sickness itself is all a mental state. If you take every illness as, I am dying, you're always gonna feel like you're dying when you're sick. And the more drained and worn out you are, the more likely you are to come down with an illness. You're more susceptible to getting sick when you are not mentally in a good state. Which is why I tend to try to reduce all the stresses in my life, but I still suffer from anxiety, and I can't really stop the anxiety from existing. I just kind of have to vibe with it and hope it just doesn't affect me as much. Which is fine. I can handle my own anxiety. Because my coping mechanism is art, is filming, is doing all of this content stuff. And every single time I get a comment on a video or acceptance or any form of interactions, it really validates that I'm good at what I do and that people enjoy my content. I want people to do better and feel better. And I do art as a way to cope. This has always been my main coping mechanism to get through any form of bad situations. Because my entire life, my dad's been a bit of a drunk. My mom's been high on painkillers because she physically can't function unless she's on some form of painkiller, exactly how my grandmother is. They both can't function without painkillers. Because otherwise they're just in bed, not wanting to do anything. And that's not healthy. So it's not fun. When everyone in your life needs some form of medicine to function like a normal person, and even then, they're still a bit loopy, it sucks. Because I wish people could function without the needed of help. I wish people could just function. Or that, like, support was enough. It's not always enough to just be there. I know some people can't even take medicine to help fix their, like, psychological problems. Like, my mom's best friend, Dennis, he's the best artist and my favorite person when it comes to art. And they've always been my favorite artist. But he's schizophrenic, and medicine does not help his dissociation and illusions. Medicine actually makes him worse. So he can't really do anything other than cope naturally, but nobody helps him cope naturally and keep his psyche fine. Because he's constantly running away. There is no one to just be there or keep him, like, stable. Because he's constantly on the run. Constantly traveling, constantly moving. He can't stay in one place for long. He sleeps in tents on the sides of roads because he can't handle being in a house. Even if he's all alone. He's hypersensitive to the world around him. And I feel so bad for him that he can't have that mental stability because nobody's actively helping him. I mean, everyone else around him is having their own struggles, their own issues. They lack stability too. And a lot of the people I see in my mother's generation are struggling with their mental issues and not seeking actual help. And I really wish more people would. If you are struggling, you're supposed to seek help. If you are going through difficulties, it is good to talk to someone, anyone, about them. Because one, it is a healthier way to let out how you feel in a less angry but more venting form of way. I find one of, like, the healthiest things that people do in my Discord is they vent out their issues. Yeah, it's a lot, but we all go through stuff. And you don't have to answer if you're not ready to handle someone else's emotion. You could just leave a sentence and just feel better. You don't necessarily need something. I know there was this one person who had a difficulty with their mother, and sometimes you have to stop thinking about what you want and start just thinking in the terms of, we can do it another day. Like, as much as you want to do something, you should find a way to either do it alone or someone else to do it with. if the person you originally wanted to go with doesn't want to do it. And just leave the person who doesn't want to do that task alone, or just wait till they are better. Sometimes all a person needs is space. And if you constantly ask why, they're just going to get irritated and not be able to relax. Everyone has a different way of coping with their issues. Some people need to say what's wrong, and some people need to just be left alone to simmer with their thoughts and heal. And that was a term that I couldn't get across to them, which sucks, but oh well. They'll learn one day that everyone thinks differently and needs to cope differently. And then sometimes no just means not right now. Or not ever. Because sometimes it also means not ever. If it's like a family member and an event, it's probably just a not right now or too much going on. And then sometimes it's just a, I don't want to do that. If they've done it before, then it's probably just a not right now. If they've never done it before, it's probably a not ever, and they don't want to tell you that it's just a no because they feel bad and they love you. Because I know my mom. So my computer cut out and stopped recording because it needed to be reset. So I had to wait for my computer to restart. I was so motivated to film, and then my computer needed to be like, "Ooh, update." How awful. Don't you just hate it when your computer needs to update when you're not ready for it to update, but it won't load properly if it doesn't update? Okay. I will say the reason I started with the colors that I started with were because they didn't fit in the containers that I have over here. And so they were just the leftovers that don't fit. Which is why I also have art out, because it won't fit in the container. So there's just a whole shit ton of these. Things old people do. Being ill. Old people do be sick all the time. Real though, but I actually have this one couple that's like two old married people, and they always get chicken tenders every single time they go to KFC. Every single time. Just, they love their tenders. And if they can get them cheaper, they're so excited. If they can't, they're just like, damn. Oh well. I still want my tenders. And they're so sweet every time we have to like help them out. They're like the nicest, most patient customers ever. And they really put your faith in humanity type people. because you're just like, wow, they're just like so polite. Like we've had a couple of like these old pairings where they're just like the nicest, most polite people and really respectful and patient, and I'm very apologetic when I have to make people wait for their food. Um, Mainly because sometimes when you have to wait for the food, it's because I forgot about making your order. I'm not gonna lie. If it's after 9 o'clock, we are cleaning the whole time because we have to get out at 11, and it takes a good 2 hours to clean the entire back. Um, it would take us a lot less time if we didn't have to make orders the whole time. And we do not care if you eat inside. But if it's after 11 o'clock, we will lock the doors, regardless of whether you're inside or not. So keep that in mind. If it's 10 o'clock, those doors are getting locked, whether you are there or not. I don't know why part of this isn't that sticky, and it's really baffling. My camera decided to cut out again. Oh well. Um, I guess my computer does not want me to record. So clearly it's having some fights with me because I decided I wanted to film 3 videos and it was just like, no. And I can't find out why it's not working. I just know that it just cuts out randomly. I just wanted it to work. I want to film my videos. I want to enjoy. I want to chill. I want to do my diamond art because I enjoy doing diamond art. I like my art in general. Is my computer just being like, hey, do something more interesting? Maybe that's why. It's just like, you're so boring. I started with so much energy too, and then it was just gonna get cut out because my computer decided it needed other things for it to work at all, and it's still not working. I was gonna say T to the I to the T T Y. But I cut myself off in that thought. Sometimes I want to answer the phone at work and just be like, okay, well, this is KFC, where our chicken is fried and so are our workers. Because I feel like that would be really funny to say over the phone. I was eating a sandwich in the office while thinking of those sayings because the phone kept going off every 5 minutes. I will say though, we almost never answer the phone in the office. That's why we give you little like notes in each bag of who you should contact if there is an actual issue, which is the general manager, who's almost never at the store. Like he has a specific work phone to answer those calls. If he ever gets fired, then we'll have to change it to the next general manager, but that's okay. But yeah, we usually don't answer the phone that's in the office. We do occasionally if we have like free time or it's like really slow. But at that rate, it's just easier to come in and say something in person. When your handwriting is so bad that it makes a person question their existence, that's how you know it's bad. Oh. Do you ever just scream random words? So something that recently happened that is annoying as fuck, and I still don't understand what the thought process behind it was when I don't know who did it, but when they returned the recycling bin, because I didn't throw my bottle in the recycling bin because it wasn't where it belonged and couldn't find it, so I left it on the counter next to where it should have been. And instead of throwing it into the recycling bin once they returned the bottle, like return the recycling bin, or just leaving it there, they decided it to walk all the way to my room and put it on my bed. Who does that? Like, what's the thought process there? Like, are you dumb? Do you not think it's easier to just take a step to the left and just put it in the drawer? So the first thing I did was just throw it across the room, well, across the house actually, because I got home from work later by like an hour and was really upset about that because it shouldn't have taken me an extra hour to get my work done. Um, yeah, but people kept showing up, and so I couldn't finish cleaning because I had to constantly be typing in orders and making food. And then I had to wait an extra like 10 minutes so that she could do a few dishes before we left. So that was that was a whole thing. What the fuck is Judah? Just like look at my tablet and I see a phone call from a stranger. Who the fuck? I don't. What? Who the fuck is Judah? And why is it telling me their name? I'm not used to random phone calls telling me their names. Though this tablet is connected to my friend's account, um, because it is the only iPhone account that we have access to. Because I'm not making an Apple account, because fuck Apple. Did you know Apple products are more likely to get hacked because they're worth it to hack? The average person who owns an Apple product has money. Maybe not a lot, but enough to afford Apple products. So clearly they have more money than the average person. Androids are less likely to get hacked because nobody wants to hack an Android. They're willing to hack an iPhone, which is why I get like free apps and stuff that don't try to hack my phone and take my information as often as when I tried using an iPhone. And every 5 seconds, I had to deal with someone trying to steal my location and or use my phone number against me, which is wild. Because I like using Temu. If you have an Apple product and you use Temu, your information is very likely to get stolen. But if you have an Android, your information is fully secure. I don't understand how or why it's like that, but every single time I've seen a person with an iPhone try to use an app that I normally use, they keep getting hacked, but I don't ever get hacked. And I keep a very close eye on my bank account because, well, one, I have a hoarding addiction. Two, I like to save money. So I keep a very close eye on how much money I am both making and how much money I am putting in my savings. I keep an eye on it all the time, like a scary amount of I'm basically looking at how much money is in my bank account every single day, even if I don't spend money. I just constantly just take a glance at it to make sure I'm not spending a lot. Because sometimes I black out in the middle of the night and I'm just like doom scrolling on an app, and then I want to go shopping. And that's a dangerous habit to have. You know what? I never spend more than I think I'm going to spend, which my budget each week is $100. Yeah, it seems low, but you know what? I still manage to only spend 50 each week. So I'm doing great. But I also have enough food in my fridge to last me a good month, which is only $80 worth of food. I know that sounds absurd, but when you eat a lot more vegetables than meat, but still find a way to make your diet high in protein, you find it easy to make meals that are both filling and sustainable and also cheap. Because I can get like 3 steaks for a good price. I think the bigger ones I got was about $15. And that's like 2 meals for one of those steaks sometimes, depending on the size. It's either 1 or 2 meals. But if I add all of the vegetables and stuff, I do it, and pasta, and yes, pasta has protein in it. For a good year, all I could eat was pasta and meat sauce, and that's it. And my friend was like, "How the fuck did you survive?" And I was like, "I still had protein because not only did I eat a shit ton of peanut butter, and almond butter as like cookies, and yes, it was vegan cookies because I couldn't. I every time I had an egg in any form of recipe except pasta, it made me vomit for some reason. So I had to minimize the amount of egg I could taste, which was horrifying to me because I don't know why my taste buds did that. But for that good year, I was just eating peanut butter vegan cookies. And I was also eating pasta and meat sauce. Did I have heartburn almost every day? Actually, I don't think so. I had it like once a week, despite eating so much acidic food. But I was basically eating the same thing every single day for months. And my friend was like, "You wouldn't be alive if you did that." And I'm like, I was. And at the end of that year, I ended up in the hospital again for malnutrition. So, yeah, clearly I don't eat enough. But you know what? I've been trying to fix that, and which is why I started filming like a cooking video for you guys and asked if you wanted to see me cook. Because I was going to cook anyway, but it felt more valid if I just filmed how I cook. The way I cook is I just throw a shit ton of random stuff in a pot and then season it to no avail with sauces and stuff, and then I just eat it as is. And for like the next 3 days with the leftovers, I just pour different flavored hot sauces on top of it. One of my hot sauces tastes like a salsa. One of my hot sauces tastes like pizza. Um, the pizza one isn't that good. It's kind of sour. So I will never get their pizza flavored ever again. But their other flavors are really good. So I'll stick with the one I liked. The main reason I grabbed the pizza one instead of their regular one was because I do not like sweet sauces. I like spice. And they were like, that one's not that spicy. And I was like, well, I'm not going to grab it then. Did they assume I couldn't handle spice because I'm white? I promise you, I'm Portuguese and Italian. I can handle my spice. Like, I'm the type of person who will take those Diablo sauce packets and douse their tacos in them. And all of my friends are like, that's so spicy. How do you do that? And I'm like, it's not even spicy at all, but it is one of the better flavors that they have at Taco Bell. The other flavors they have at Taco Bell are like either too sour, too vinegary. But the Diablo sauce is like a nice sweet pepper, and it's got that right balance of spice and sweetness, which is what I really like in hot sauces, is when it's really sweet, but also spicy as hell, because I want to feel the pain. Which some people don't understand behind me is because I actually like pain. Like, the more pain you feel in a food, the less pain I feel in my back because I have chronic back pain. So I would rather just feel the pain in my mouth than in my back. It allows me to sleep so much nicer if I eat some spicy food before bed. It's so relaxing. I also finished my protein drink. So the thing is, with the drink that I made it with two meal supplement packets, and I also ate two servings of the pasta I made when I filmed the food video. A lot of these are crooked and it kind of bugs me. Do you ever just get like insanely itchy randomly? Whenever I do, that means I have an eczema rash appearing and I just have to lotion my arm or whatever's itching, which is annoying. So good. Look how full it is getting so quick. It's probably because it's just so small. Also, I've done this exact diamond art before. My friend bought it for me. I already did this one already. I'm pretty sure I have it in my like bundle of diamond arts that I've done already. I would say I would give these away to my friends, but only if it's like a birthday or something, but not just in general. Because, like, I can sell these for more money. I know I personally get these for really cheap online, which is why I don't mind selling them for all of the work that I put into doing them for people. And I have admitted that if you do buy me the materials, I will gift them whatever I make because gifting me materials means I get to make something for you and to get free content out of it. And my friend wants me to make her a blanket eventually. She's the one finding the materials. She's still looking for like a yarn she likes, like right thickness, look, color. And I was like, well, this is the yarn I originally used for you. If you wanted something that matched that. If you're looking for something else, like a different line weight or thickness, there's also other colors within this brand. If you like this brand, I gave her some options and I was just like, if you want to look for more, if it's a bulky amount of yarn, just read the little label. It will tell you exactly if it's like a 3x3 or like a 2x2. And that's feet, by the way, because that's how everything is measured in America for some reason. Like, I know when I was discussing my height, um, let me convert it to centimeters for you. So 5 feet times 12 is 62 inches. That's it. How do I convert that to centimeters now? I remember I looked this up at one point, how many centimeters my height was, but 62 inches, that's not a lot. Because it's into centimeters. 157.48 centimeters for anyone who's not American. That is my height. And someone questioned why I wasn't a model. It's because I'm short as fuck. I promise you, I'm very short. I just wear really tall heels. I can promise you, I can wear 12-inch heels and be fine walking in those. But I also have really small feet, so it's really hard to find tall heels with my foot, like shoe size. I'm a size 5 to 7 in women's, and I know that's a big jump from 5 to 7 to some people, but when you realize that shoe stores suck at just keeping sizes the same, you'll understand that that makes a lot of sense. Having a range of 3 is quite normal from store to store. And in clothing sizes for women, that size can range from like 20 different sizes of numbers for the same type of outfit or clothing item. One of my favorite things to do is read manga. And a lot of people think it's weird since I'm not attracted to men to like BL manga. I'm not reading it for the sex. I'm reading it for the fact that the romance in it is actually healthy. And I look for healthy relationships when I'm reading stories, not toxic ones. Do I still read some of the toxic ones? Yes, out of curiosity. But I absolutely hate them. And, yeah. But there's so many more healthy BL story romances than toxic ones that I find it more gratifying to read them. Every single time I try to find a girl's love story or a straight story, I don't really look for the straight ones because straight couples really weird me out because there's just a power dynamic that I find weird. I like it when people can be seen as equals, you know? Which is kind of why I don't like some of the girls' love stories because there's sometimes a power dynamic and I just find it weird. There is no stronger person in a relationship, there is just the more dominant person in the bedroom. Because both have their own strengths in a relationship and differences that they're willing to show. But both are meant to be strong characters. So far, one of my BL comics also has a girl love story hidden in it. And the relationship is no power dynamic. Sure, one of them is technically a mob boss, and they are technically more powerful, but they're treating their lover as an equal, and that's why I like it. They're like, who cares if she's a preschool teacher? She's sweet, and she's adorable, and we'll protect her type thing. Down below, I'll be dead at 27. Got a bully in my head, big little thick friends. I was broken when you met, now you give me everywhere you go. Every day I'll let you down, and I'll be a superstar. Girl, you used to know, playing on the radio. Every day I'll let you down, and I'll be a suicide. And I dream I'm on fire. Let it be one for your will. Let it go, yeah, yeah. Jaded, jaded, yeah. We're gonna be a rock star, yeah, yeah, yeah. Total on a wall, yeah, yeah, yeah. Going far, yeah, happens when I fall apart. All of me wants all you, and I'm far away. I can't choose. Got a lot of lessons I need to learn. Got a lot of lessons. My depression and misconceptions and all the mistakes that lead to lessons. My depression, it makes me question. My depression, it makes me question. La-di-da, and I'd be a superstar, be the girl you used to know, playing on the radio. La-di-da, and be a suicide, and dream I'm on fire. La-di-da, one for you. Does it rain in California? The angels cry for me. Want the drugs that taste like candy. Put diamonds in my teeth. Why? Every day I'll let it die. Gonna be a superstar. Be the girl you used to know. Playing on the radio. Baby, I'll let it die. And I need suicide. My dream I'm on fire. Let it be for your love. I'm gonna be a superstar. I think that's the only song by her that I actually know that I like. I've tried listening to a few of her other songs and I just did not like them. It's not like the vocals or anything were bad, it's just the lyrics were. Sometimes the lyrics can ruin a song. I know for certain I'll be able to finish this one a lot faster than some of my other parts. Which is really exciting to me because honestly, I hate when they're really big because it takes so long. I mean, they look the best when they're the bigger the diamond are, the prettier they look, yes, but also they're just annoying as fuck to put together. So it just takes away the fun and the motivation behind it. You start speaking French about a game because it looks French, and then they start speaking French, and you're just like, oh, so I read the vibe, right? I remember in high school, a lot of people were talking about boys, and my only interest was what I was doing at the time, which was either art or anime, and both, if optional. And I could never find friends that were in the same like group as me unless they were like gay or trans. So I guess a lot of gay people love anime. So back in high school, the only friends I could really make were the gay and trans kids. But I never knew I was one of them in any way other than interests. But I what I definitely knew was I definitely don't think the same way as like a normal person because I'm not normal. Never was. Or at least what the preconceived normal of whatever school teaches you. Um, Something moved beneath my feet. I put my feet on like a stool, so whenever I'm sitting down, my knees are like to my chest because it's more comfortable for my back. I'm also wearing shoes because that's the only thing keeping me motivated to do anything right now. Which, if you understand, you understand. If you don't, you don't. That's, I will not need to explain that. I'll feel more motivated when I'm wearing shoes than if I'm not wearing shoes, okay? Mafia game. They say they're bringing back around the boys. Son, you're probably gonna not make it out alive if you don't got money. Something I always found disgusting was loan sharks because they're just taking advantage of addicts and people who are already poor. Like those people are already struggling, and you're gonna make it worse. Like at least steal from the rich or something. But I guess it's always easier to take people who can't defend themselves. There actually still is a lot of loan shark problems in countries, apparently. I wouldn't know because, well, I won't even take a loan from a bank, so clearly I have my own things going on up here. Like, I wanted to get a car and knew I'd be able to pay back the loan very quickly and easily. Well, I was rejected because at the time I didn't really have a credit score because I don't spend enough money to get a good credit score. And the best way to get a good credit score is to spend a shit ton of money and, well, be able to pay it back. A shit ton of money that you've paid back. Basically, paying off credit cards and stuff. That's the only way to get a good credit score. And the more money you spend, the better off your credit score is going to be, especially if you have the money to back it up. Which is like cool. I love how the first question my friend was when it came to my coming across having a girlfriend was, how old is she? And I'm like, she's only a year younger, 21. Because I'm 22 right now. She's like, me. How'd you meet? And I'm like, we met at the anime con. Because honestly, optimal place to meet someone you actually want to be with is at a place where you are surrounded by people that you want to be around. I went to the anime con because I knew I'd be around people that also had the same interests as me when it came down to I love anime. Am I bad at finishing animes? Yeah. But you know what? I still love it. Anyway, this will be the end of the video. Peace, love. Have a good day, my fab fam. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.